Happy New Year, new reading, new opportunities. Let's get started. Hello everyone, still moving in between locations, so obviously this is not going to be my setup for forever, but wanted to get a January TBR out to you, talk about the books that I'm going to read, especially because I'm involved now in two read-throughs, and one I'm starting new this month. So let's talk about January. Okay, so I will be continuing my Chronicles of Narnia read-along with Rid book this month. We did read in December, but didn't do a live show for The Silver Chair. And so we are going to do a joint live show of The Silver Chair and The Horse and His Boy. So those will be two books I'm absolutely reading. This is where, in my opinion, Chronicles of Narnia really starts to get going. The first one, Lion, Witch, Children of, it's a classic. Second one, Prince Caspian, is okay. Third one, Voyage of the Dawn Treader, is like okay. And then Silver Chair, Horse and His Boy, and Magician's Nephew are just peak good fantasy that I'm very excited about. So that'll be very fun. My second read-along that I'm starting this month in January is a read of The Last King of Ostenard, which is the sequel trilogy to Tad Williams' Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn trilogy. I'm reading that with Philip Chase, Shelf Esteem, and Ben. I'll link their channels down below. I'm really excited to do that, and to start that read-along, we are going to read the sort of in-between novel between those two series called The Heart of What Was Lost. This seems to me similar to The Heroes of Joe Abercrombie, where it's like one protracted battle, but it gets you back in the world and sort of sets the stage for the next trilogy, which I'm really, really excited about. So I think we'll be doing a discussion on this sometime in mid-January. So as I'm recording this, I just started this, very excited about it. Also, I had to renew my knowledge of the first trilogy because I read Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn in like 2021, 2020. And so went back and read a lot of reviews and summaries. That took me like all night, but it was worth it to get ready for this read along. So we're just starting, so you should definitely join us if you haven't. And then once I finish that, I will of course start reading the first book in that second series, which is The Witchwood Crown, again by Tad Williams. I've had this for a while and have wanted to read it and just haven't done it. So I'm excited to get going. Tad Williams is one of my favorite authors. And so this is going to be a really, really good read through. I'm glad to do it with some cool booktube friends, some that I know and some that I'm going to get to know. So that will be exciting. Now for audiobooks, I am reading The Prophet of Edan by Philip Chase, which is narrated by Alan over at the Library of Alexandria. This has been really fun to have like two booktube friends talking to me in different ways as I read these books. I'm actively in The Prophet of Edan, and then I will be reading the third book, The Return of Edan, to get that trilogy done, and then I will do a video on my full thoughts on that whole series, but enjoying both the audiobook and starting this book. And as I said, it's a really unique experience with two folks who kind of came onto the booktube scene at the same time that I did. I've really enjoyed that. So those will be two key parts of my reading in January. Then, of course, I'm going to be continuing my President's read-along. If you didn't see my last video or some other videos I did about this previously, I'm trying to read one biography on every U.S. president, and I'm currently on William Henry Harrison, which his book is called Mr. Jefferson's Hammer. Not the most interesting of guys, but I'll be reading that. And then the next book's on John Tyler, is called President Without a Party, and I don't know who the author is currently, and I don't really want to look it up. But those will also be part of my reading. But honestly, the biggest part of my actual reading time is going to be the Narnia read-along and the Last King of Ostenard read-along. And the one I have to read this month is The Heart of What Was Lost. But of course, I do want to get started on this big chunker as well. So that's going to be my January. Pretty excited about that. As far as movies that I'm watching, I don't have a plan currently because January is kind of where I'm going to try to catch up on some of the holiday films that I missed. Two in particular, No Other Choice, which is the new Park Chan-wook movie, and Marty Supreme, the new Safdie movie with Timothée Chalamet. So I'll be doing that. That'll take up a lot of my time watching wise. And of course, as you can see, I'm moving to a new location, so got to figure stuff out. So maybe by my next video, you will actually see a more set up area. As you can see, we've got our salt lamp there, and I did find my blue light to add some interest to it, but I imagine this will still not be as good as I want it to be moving forward. But Anyway, what are you reading in January? Do you want to jump on one of our read-alongs? Please feel free to do so. And as always, let's talk in the comments. First in, last out.